Hi everyone, thanks for dropping by and for returning to the old world. Today, the latest instalment of Stuff, What I Painted, this time covering August 2022. So, after a fairly slow July, had a reasonably productive month for August despite a couple of setbacks. So let's see how I got on. Firstly, we'll get the mundane, slightly dull stuff out of the equation. Yes, we've got some more Napoleonic French infantry, a whole unit of them ready to go. So 15 models here, painted, based, ready to go, live out their lives on the shelf. Hopefully they'll see some use, but it's looking increasingly unlikely. But still, this means just one unit left to do, and then the project and the stretch goal is complete. Huzzah! And we also have, looking at the rank and file, 10 dwarf heavy infantry. This completes my Ironbreakers unit, so that's a unit of 20 dwarves, heavily armoured, armed with hand weapon and shield. They will appear in another video just around the corner. So if you're interested in the narrative of my Warhammer Old World Fantasy Army, then keep your eyes peeled for that one. It will be coming very, very soon with the story story time really around the creation of this unit. But that's not all this month. No, we've got a couple of extra chaps as well. So here we have another classic Space Crusade Space Marine, armed with a missile launcher. He has already seen service actually and has joined the ranks of my Devastator squad for my 40k Space Marine force, and usually used as a Salamander successor. I do quite like these old models. I've already got a couple in the Devastator squad, so I was running 2 missile launchers, 2 heavy bolters. Well, the old assault cannon models, but they're no longer legal. So it's now 3 missiles and 1 heavy bolter. So I really like these old models. They are very straightforward to paint. They come out quite nicely and they're a little bit quirky. I think original intentions, I had thought about putting them as a Havoc squad for my Chaos Space Marines, but now they live on the side of the Loyalists. I've mentioned before that I really like the missile launches. I really like the flexibility, and they really help get some work done in that particular force. Last, but by no means least, I'm failing to speak my own language there, I have this bad boy. Now this is a large cannon by WizKids. They provide models that are pre-primed and I believe are generally intended for use as scenery for D&D and the like. I was looking for artillery to go with my Dwarven force when I stumbled across this. Now, if I put the Space Marine next to it for sizes of scale, let's get a decent view. You see it is a very chunky bit of kit, but I really liked partly the chunkiness, but also the sort of the crude ornateness of it. Really spoke to me of being an earlier type of gunner, so fitting the aesthetic of my small Empire force for the old world. And if you've seen again the video on what the Empire should look like, I think it's going to be a sort of very much more medieval feel, or should have a very much a more medieval feel. So that fits in with that. With hindsight, perhaps I would have been better off getting the Bombard models from Wargames Foundry, which I believe are ex-Citadel actually, but got this one instead. There was an option of getting, for the same price, which was £8, 2 cannon that were slightly smaller, but they were on a different gun mount, so they were on mounts that looked like they were designed for, well, they are the ones that are designed for use on ships or in forts. So the 4 small wheels, a lighter weight frame, which, yeah, absolutely fine if you're using artillery for that purpose. But if you're looking at field artillery, you're never going to get those sort of carriages across bad roads and open ground. Whereas slightly chunkier, bigger wheeled version is something that you could see being used in the field. So got hold of this. Now I did, to a certain extent, just slap a layer of paint on and apply some washes. It's not my best work, but considering it's perhaps not the most interesting model to paint, there's a lot of just one colour or 2 colours, so it does for now. I might come back to it and jazz it up a bit, but for now, yeah, done, ready to join my force. Just need to get some crew to go with it. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for dropping by. This is Return to the Old World. Have a great day.